It's been about a month since we lifted the boat out of the shed and turned her over and put her back in the right way up, sitting on her cradle. It was a great moment, and once she was sitting in the shed the right way up, looking at the big empty shell inside the boat, it seemed a bit daunting thinking about the work ahead that was needed to finish the boat. But pretty soon I got underway and started with gluing and screwing the rub rails on the outside, and then fitting the gunnels on the inside edge of the top strake. And as work progressed, it soon became really apparent that gravity was becoming an issue, and all sorts of things would finish up in the bottom of the boat: sawdust, shavings, lost screws, bits of sandpaper, and quite often my cell phone. And I've been very lucky that I've been able to borrow a really powerful industrial vacuum cleaner that does a great job of taking care of it all. This next part of the build involved a lot of epoxy work, and the inside of the hull was coated with epoxy, and I sealed all the plywood plank edges inside with epoxy fillets, and all the internal bulkheads, the joints between the bulkheads and the joints between the bulkheads and the hull needed strengthening with epoxy fillets as well. And then many battens needed to be cut and fitted into place, which support the floorboards and the seats inside the hull. And here I'm just trying one of the seat risers for fit, and these later on support the thwarts inside the boat. We had regular catch-ups to discuss progress on the boat and to check that everything was going according to plan. And Max raised a very valid point that at this point there didn't seem to be adequate storage for a dinner bowl on board. This is a tool that I've used almost every day on the boat while I've been building, and it's called a trimmer tool. I'm not sure that they make them anymore. They seem to come up on eBay secondhand quite often, but I found this in a local second-hand shop, and it's just proved to be so useful for taking off all the little lumps and bumps of the epoxy glue once it's set hard. And by adjusting the screw that's between the two handles, the bottom blade can be adjusted to form a curve that fits the planks on the side of the hull very nicely. And I used this a lot during the cleanup of the inside of the hull. Having the boat raised up on the cradle means there's enough room under the keel to be able to drop the centerboard into the case and to test that it fits all right, and to check that the pin is the right length to support the centerboard inside the case. Fitting out the inside of the boat really is quite an exciting part of the build, and I've still got a long way to go, but at this point the thing that's become overwhelmingly apparent is just how incredibly strong the design of the boat is. It really is very impressive and very clever, the way she's all put together.